Hello everyone, Jason McCaw here from PvP Live, bringing you another video, kind of giving you a little bit of a summary of the BlizzCon Warlords of Draenor PvP panel. So let's get right into it here. I have it queued up here. So some of the things that we're going to be talking about today is starting with the World PvP Zone, UI improvements, Battleground rewards, and Trial of the Gladiator. So kind of let's jump right into Tom Chilton talking about the new World PvP Zone.
Calling Trial of the Gladiator. Prince that was off the coast. Well, we're creating a place. It's one of those islands that you guys referenced that was off the coast. It's off the eastern coast of Tanan Jungle. It's called Ashran. And it is a staging area near the Dark Portal that both the Horde and Alliance want to control. This has faction bases on it, and it has a variety of different hotspots. There are a lot of different points of interest, the different
You know, this is actually going to be really interesting to see how this goes down because, as we all know, the entrance to the Dark Portal is a heavy world PvP zone as it is. So this is actually a really nice feature that Blizzard's adding that seems like it's actually specifically made for world PvP with objectives. So it's going to be really nice to see how that turns out. I didn't really want to touch on that too much, so I think we're going to skip ahead here a little bit.
Like a kind of an...
So here is Tom Chilton talking a little bit about Ashran, which is going to be one of the new PvP battlegrounds. So it's kind of interesting to see. You know, there's going to be a little more focus on siege vehicles, kind of like we see in Isle of Conquest.
You'll get to build and commandeer siege vehicles. Some of these are vehicles that you might build over the course of multiple days, right? You might gather some materials on one day and continue your progress on the next day, and then eventually build your machine of mighty destruction and have a rampage on your enemies for a while. You'll be able to reduce the enemy base to rubble, and the battle will rage on.
So yeah, that's a pretty interesting concept. I think everyone always gets excited for to compete in new random battlegrounds. So I guess we'll just have to wait till more information is released on that. Moving forward, let's go on to the next topic here, the UI improvements section. It's going to include an objective tracker and a capture status. The objective tracker, I can't explain to you how important this is if it turns out to the way that I think it's going to be. As you know, when you're running random battlegrounds, if you're not an organized group, it is super hard to organize objectives because it's either twofold. The players don't understand the objectives, such as capturing bases in Arathi Basin, or they just want to fight in the middle. Again, or fight in the middle or fight in roads, just like they do in AB. So hopefully that's going to combat that. And the capture status is actually also very nice, which Tom Chilton here is going to explain a little bit more in depth.
So that you can actually see how much progress you're making toward capturing a point of interest. And we've got some little screenshots to show you what that looks like. So imagine you're looking at the Arathi Basin map, and right now, today, unless you have a mod like Deadly Boss mods, you really don't have the ability to see how much time there is left to capture a point of interest.
Yeah, I mean, I love this feature. I think this is much needed. It's a nice overall feature for random battlegrounds, or RBGs for that matter. So let's move on to the next topic here. So the next feature is Battleground score. So now this is going to be based on capturing objectives and how much damage you do. So it's not just killing blows, basically. It's an overall Battleground score, which is going to rank you in the Battleground. So hopefully this is going to make people play to the objective more often. Let's hear what Tom has to say here.
Battleground. Here's a little screenshot of what the scoreboard's going to look like in 6.0. And the default sorting, you'll notice, is by score. Today, the default sorting is by, killing blows.
Right.
A lot of people resort their Battleground scoreboard by, damage done, or if you're a healer, by healing, stuff like that. But it's really hard to, get a sense of exactly how you're doing versus other people. And that feels like not really the best way to sort. So we've heard a lot of feedback over the years that players really want to get a better sense of how well they're doing in a Battleground. And this score will factor in everything that you're doing. It's really, a lot of it is based around the objectives that you're completing. And then, of course, your damage and healing factor in as well. So, your deaths, your kills, all that kind of good stuff. This way, you really have an ability to look at it and see, okay, how am I doing? And potentially, it could play into the rewards at the end.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that, especially like you said at the end there. Battleground score is actually going to tie into your ending rewards of that Battleground. So I think this is a great feature. Let's move on to the next topic here. Kind of tying into the battleground scores is there's going to be bonus random rewards, kind of like you see when you queue in for random looking for dungeons. So I think this is actually going to be a really nice incentive for a lot of people. Let's hear what Tom has to say about this one.
A bit about the reward system and what we're going to try to do with that. So today, one of the problems that we have with PvP is that it's too deterministic. And we love some of that determinism in that okay, well, I need this much honor to be able to buy the legs that I want to buy, or the helmet or whatever. But it feels a bit formulaic in that from week to week, okay, well, it's going to take me about 8 battlegrounds and I'll have enough honor to buy the pair of pants, and it just feels very formulaic. We thought it would be really cool to break that up with bonus random rewards. So, of course, the honor system is going to stay in place, and you'll still earn honor, and you'll be able to buy the items exactly as you do today. But wouldn't it be cool if at the end of any given battleground or even arena, if you had a chance to get lucky and win some stuff in advance? Hey, here's to getting lucky. So, so what are the things that you can get? You can get items, maybe that pair of legs that you really have been wanting to buy. You might get lucky and roll that and happen to get.
I mean, honestly, overall, I think this is a great feature. Everyone likes to gamble, so I mean, it'd be really cool to jump into a battleground. You're waiting for those shoulders, you're waiting for those legs that you don't have enough honor points for, and then all of a sudden they just appear in your bag. I think it's a welcome change. Actually, I think it's a nice added incentive to run random battlegrounds. For this next part, I'm going to kind of let Tom Chilton talk here about the Trial of the Gladiator, because I think this is probably what everyone's most interested in. So let's kind of listen to what he has to say about the different times that you can play Trial of the Gladiator and, the baseline stats or the baseline gear for everyone. So it's heavily based on skill. So let's get right into this.
The Trial of the Gladiator. And so you might be asking yourself, what is the Trial of the Gladiator? I know what gladiators are, but how does this work? Well, Trial of the Gladiator is the arena ladder. I don't know how many of you are, fairly competitive in the arena these days, but yeah.
Big excitement.
So one of the problems that we have is that it's very difficult to find people of your caliber, if you're a really high-end competitive player, to play with at the same time. And so really the Trial of the Gladiator is taking the concept of the arena ladder that we have right now and really focusing it to concentrate the queues at certain periods of time during the week, so that you really get a lot of people in the queues at the same time, and that it also provides great benefits to us in terms of finding people that are exploiting. I don't know how much you guys know about it, but pretty much any time there's an exploit going on with the arena ladders, or even the rated battleground ladders, it has something to do with a couple of
I am going to pause this real quickly. I think the biggest complaint, or what people don't understand yet, is how are these times going to work? What if people have full-time jobs and they want to queue for Trial of the Gladiator during that time? What are they going to do? How often are these times going to be available to players? And unfortunately, we don't really know yet.
Sketchy dudes logging in at like 4 a.m. and queuing against their other sketchy friends and manipulating the ladders. And so by concentrating all the activity into a shorter period of time, it gives us an ability to monitor that much more closely, and also it makes it a lot harder to exploit, because there are a lot of people in the queues when that thing's happening. In addition, one of the really exciting things here is that we get to use what we call tournament rules. So this is a lot like the way the arena server works, right? So when you go to the arena server, it's not a competition about gear. Anybody can go to the Trial of the Gladiator and use the vendors and put on the gear that they want to use and hop right into the Trial of the Gladiator. It is purely about the skill. So if you're the kind of person...
I think another concern that people have right now is, what's the reward basically? Why are people running regular arena outside of Trial of the Gladiator if you're not increasing your MMR rating? Besides, what's the reasoning to actually get to go after gear week after week if there's going to be a baseline gear for everyone in Trial of the Gladiator? I think that's something a lot of people are wondering.
Person that doesn't want to grind toward your gear on a season-by-season basis, this is the thing for you. You show up, everybody has the same item level, you pick which items that you want to use, and you jump in there, and that's what you use. Your PvE gear won't work in there, only this stuff.
You saw Ghostcrawler get a little excited there.
And this, of course, will determine your prestige rewards. So if you ever wanted that Gladiator title or mount, this is the place that you're going to do it. Your regular season kind of stuff that you do is going to happen, and you'll be able to earn your honor and conquest and buy gear and all that kind of stuff that you can use to take into the world PvP zone. But really, the crux of how you're going to get the prestige stuff is through here. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's basically the whole panel for PvP at BlizzCon 2013. Just a quick wrap up. Obviously, Holinka just tweeted earlier this week that they're going to be releasing a lot more information on Trial of the Gladiator in the coming weeks here. So hopefully that's going to be happening soon. And I think that's it. Just remember to go to pvp-live.com, bookmark that site. And until next time, thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.